Hi everyone, it's Sean. What up? Welcome back to another video. And today we're talking a brand new Wheel of Time project that's coming out. That's got nothing to do with the show. So if you love the Wheel of Time as much as I do, if you're excited about all the new Wheel of Time projects that are coming out, or if you just want to keep up to date on all the news, leaks, and rumors with a possible season 4 of the show, consider making us your home for Wheel of Time news. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and of course, folks, tell all your friends. So it was announced this afternoon that Iowa Productions is creating a game studio, and they're creating that game studio in Montreal, Quebec. So that's my home country of Canada. I'm pretty pumped about that. That's exciting. It's the second Wheel of Time project that's being developed here in Canada, which makes me really, really happy. But at this point, some of you are probably asking, who is Iowa Productions and what do they have to do with Wheel of Time? Well, that's a long, very convoluted story. Probably a whole video in itself, but the Cole's notes of it is this. Essentially, they're the ones that hold the rights to the Wheel of Time. So if you want to get anything new Wheel of Time at all, regardless of what it is, it's going to come through them. So they're the ones that went to Sony and they ended up getting the contracts made for the show. They had hands in the show. They're producers on it. They are the ones that produced the old Wheel of Time game from '99, all of the graphic novels, comic books, card games, all that other stuff. The new card game, online card game that came out last year, all of that's through them, and anything new Wheel of Time related is through them. There's some history there between them and the fandom and whatnot, but again, that's for a whole other video. What's important to note right now is that they're the ones that are going to create or have created any of the new Wheel of Time stuff, unless it's a book. Book related stuff is not going to be through them, but I don't think we'll ever get another Wheel of Time book, even though I really want more. But anything else is going to come through them. So you're going to see their name on a lot of things in the next coming years. So they're creating this game studio, and the game studio is going to make an open world RPG for the Wheel of Time. It's going to be headed by a gentleman by the name of Craig Alexander. He has over 30 years of industry experience. He has done some pretty big things. He was the VP of product management at Warner Brothers for a number of years. He oversaw Lord of the Rings Online, which I don't know if you've ever played, but it's a fantastic game. Dungeons & Dragons Online. He's done a few mobile games for Game of Thrones, things of that nature. So he has a lot of experience in the game industry, and he's going to be heading the team creating this game. There's not a lot of information about the game at all. We don't know much, if anything, other than the fact that they're announcing the creation of the game studio. He's going to be running it. I assume they're probably recruiting talent right now. So if you're a game designer or an artist, maybe reach out. Take a look at LinkedIn, Craig Alexander's LinkedIn, and then reach out, I guess. I don't know, especially if you live in and around Montreal. I, for one, am excited, but we're not going to see this for a while, folks. Like, when they start developing a game, it can take years. And usually the longer, the better. So this might not be a next year thing. It might not be a year after the thing, but it'll be coming at some point or another. Now, if at this point you're kind of confused what an open world RPG is, some of the best examples I can give to you are The Last of Us. Showing right now in Crave, actually, believe it or not, the show's fantastic. Fantastic show. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, really good example of an open world RPG, like a modern one. Horizon Zero Dawn. There's tons of them out there, but essentially you play a character and you have a story that you could follow and do, and quests and things that you're supposed to do, but you can pretty much do whatever you want as well. Having it set in the Wheel of Time world, to me, makes me very excited. I, for one, am super pumped about it because I love open world RPGs anyway, and I love the Wheel of Time. I hope that we get to play through the books. That would be ideal for me, maybe from either the main characters or from someone else even. But I would prefer to play one of the main characters, or at least a main character adjacent through the book series. But I don't know exactly what we're getting. We have no information on it at all. I will keep you folks updated with the comings and goings of it over the next couple months, possibly years. I don't know. But yeah. So a couple of the things that are coming up in the near future is there is a trilogy of movies based in the Age of Legends / the War of Power. That I can tell you that's moving along quite nicely behind the scenes, and we'll probably be hearing some information about the actual project very soon, within the next few months, I'd say. They announced it over a year ago, and everyone was like, yeah, it's a thing, it's happening, but it's actually moved along quite nicely behind the scenes, and there's going to be information to share soon about that. They've also announced another Wheel of Time related movie. It's an animated movie done by another Quebec-based animation company, yay for Canada, and that's going to be set in the White Tower a couple hundred years prior to the beginning of the Eye of the World, and it's going to be more of a kids-friendly type show. Think Hogwarts, but the White Tower. That's also moving along quite nicely behind the scenes. Believe it or not, there's not been a whole lot of information out there, but there will be more in the coming months, and I'm going to report it on here on the channel. So those were announced, and everybody was like, well, are they going to happen or not? We don't know. they're happening. Like things are actually moving along quite well behind the scenes. And when I'm able to share some information with you folks, I totally will. Same as the game. Like right now, we know nothing about this game other than the fact that it's happening. But what is encouraging is that these things are happening. So the show right now has not been renewed for season 4. I, for one, think it should have been a long time ago, but it's got more to do with contract negotiations between Sony and Amazon than anything else right now. They need to figure their stuff out and learn to work together before we can get what we want. But it's a good sign that we're seeing other Wheel of Time projects and money put behind them and invested into them. Because if the Wheel of Time is popular enough for that stuff, maybe we'll get more show too. So the more Wheel of Time that's out there, in my opinion, the better for everyone involved, because it makes more Wheel of Time stuff easier. And let's face it, folks, the Wheel of Time is mainstream, but it's not as mainstream as, say, Lord of the Rings or some of the other big fantasy epics out there. It is, in my opinion, the best fantasy epic. It has been my whole life. But not everyone feels the same way, and it's certainly not as mainstream as someone else. You could ask someone else who's not a fantasy fan, Lord of the Rings, yeah, they know who that is. You ask them Wheel of Time, chances are they don't know. Some people don't even know there's a show still. So, yeah, I think more Wheel of Time is a good thing, and I will definitely be following all of that here on the channel for the foreseeable future. Now, I do want to end with this. One thing that I do want to mention is that there are some people in the Wheel of Time fandom that are incredibly passionate. Well, passion is one of the things that we do as a Wheel of Time fandom. We totally do that really well. But they're really passionate about not just the books, but the Wheel of Time in general, and they're very protective of certain people within the fandom. Outlet Studios does not have the best relationship with some members of the fandom because of some things that happened in the past. And again, that'll be a whole other video of the convoluted rights behind the Wheel of Time. But it's enough to know that there is history there, and that people remember that history, and that people are upset that they're making Wheel of Time stuff. But here's the thing, if we want more Wheel of Time things, it's going to be through them. So anything that comes out, I will be reporting it here on the channel. And I remember I have mentioned few other Wheel of Time projects that have come out since then, and I talked about it here on the channel, and some people were very upset that I did mention them and I talked about them, but let's face it, the show is also an Iowa production because they're the ones that went to Sony and Amazon and got the show made. So this channel is basically all Wheel of Time things, whether it be show, whether it be books, whether it be other things that are going on, whether it be fan-related stuff, fan-related merch. If it's Wheel of Time related, I'm going to talk about it. That's just one of the things that I'm going to be doing. And if I like it, I will say I like it. Like it's just one of those things. But yeah, so we're going to keep an eye on all the comings and goings of the new Wheel of Time projects. So this open world RPG, the game studio that's being created in Montreal, the movies, and there's a ton of other stuff coming too that you're going to hear about in the coming months. And of course, if I hear anything at all, even an inkling about Season 4 that I'm allowed to share, I will be sharing that here on the channel as well. I do have some new information on the things that are going on behind the scenes of the show that'll be coming out in the next couple weeks. I don't exactly know when, but soon. But yeah, so all kinds of new Wheel stuff on the horizon, and I, for one, am very excited about it. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. Would you play an open world RPG? And what would you like it set? Like, personally, I want it set during the main events of the books, and you follow through the events of the books. But what would you folks like to see? Anyway, thanks so much for sticking with us here to the very end, folks. Here's to many more.